You know, for months, the White House and Pelosi were negotiating on a new virus stimulus bill. Now, since the election, I think Senator McConnell, leader of the Senate, is really wants to get down to work to get something done. So I think he's going to intervene directly with Pelosi, not wait for Mnuchin and Pelosi to work things out, to see what can be done on a targeted relief package between now and the end of the year. And I hope he's successful in doing that. We still have the pandemic fighting. We've had this flare up in the virus almost any place in the United States, just like it is around the world, except for maybe part of Asia. It's a big problem we have to deal with. And then there are economic problems as a result of it. So Senator McConnell and I'm in force with him on this, that we should try to negotiate something that's targeted, but it doesn't have to be and should not be trillions of dollars as Pelosi wants. We do see some improvement in the economy. Almost every measure of the economy shows improvement, maybe slowed down a little bit, but so this would be something we could do to give the economy a little bit of a push, but also the necessity of fighting the virus. I'm ready for questions on any subject.
Senator Grassley, Peter Tubbs, Iowa PBS, Market to Market. Last week there was a Washington state court ruling that allows agricultural workers to get overtime. So that's now a sixth state that allows some degree of overtime pay in agricultural work. Is there any interest among the Ag Committee to try and define the limits of what workers get overtime, what workers do not in an agricultural setting under the Fair Labor Standards Act?
Well, I think it'd be more the committee that Alexander heads here in the United States Senate. It does labor union and 1938 Fair Labor Act legislation, and I'm not a member of that committee, so I can't answer your question, but I can answer your question this way. So far, there has been no discussion of that.
Very good. Thanks for the clarification.
Next question.
Senator Grassley, this is Ryan Morris at Local 5.
Please
we
go
noticed that...
I'm sorry, please go ahead. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay. We noticed that CNN reported that you said that Joe Biden should have access to confidential briefings so his transition team will be better prepared. Could you comment more on that?
Well, no, there's not much more you can say because it's a pretty simple question. I think that this is a decision that I don't see any problem and maybe even some benefit from a person who could be the next president of the United States, and right now, as far as the votes are being counted, is in the leadership of getting there, but we won't know any of that until December the 14th when the Electoral College meets. But it seems to me that there would be no harm in his having those negotiations or those briefings on national security. So if he does become president, he's up to date.
Thank you.
Next question.
Senator, this is Eric at KCRG in Cedar Rapids. How are you doing?
Go ahead, please, sir, Eric.
So on the election front, just wanted to get your take, kind of see what your thoughts are on all of the election fraud that President Trump is currently citing that so far, and I don't know if you've seen any actual evidence of it. Your reaction to that and his standing ground and kind of at least outwardly saying that he's not stepping down without a fight.
Well, I think it isn't a question of he's either going to be sworn in on January the 20th as for another term, or he's going to be leaving office on January the 20th. So that's not anything to even discuss. That's what the Constitution says. So then getting back to the first part of your question, last night, if it's accurate, I saw evidence of fraud on one of the television channels when they had 4 or 5 people with their dates of death, and presumably the television was telling me they had absolute proof of those people voting. So somebody committed fraud. Now, is there enough fraud to overturn the election? I guess only time will tell. And is there rampant fraud? Nobody's declared rampant fraud, as far as I can tell, but there have been examples of fraud. Enough, like I said, maybe not enough to make a big difference in the outcome of the election. What's going to make a big difference is what's going on in Georgia now, when they're going to have a hand recount of every ballot.